talking to us on Midday.
No problem at all.
Now, this is the type of weather that wouldn't really help somebody suffering from SAD.
This is a typical SAD day. It's wet, it's windy, it's dark. So when you wake up and it's like this, you just want to stay in bed. You don't want to get up. You just want to hibernate, stay at home and eat carbohydrates. The thought of going out in this is the last thing you want to do.
Now, for you, when did it come on? How many years ago?
It's about, I think, to be honest, I never even knew I had it. So, say about 12, 13 years ago, I kind of went through every single winter thinking this is how you have to feel in the winter. And eventually my doctor just said to me, look, you might have SAD. So I kind of investigated a bit and discovered that I did. And the symptoms are, you kind of lose motivation. You don't really want to go out and socialise. It's because when it's dark, your brain is kind of saying to you, look, why don't you hibernate and stay at home? And that's why you crave carbs. You want to stay under the duvet. But we have to kind of go out and do everything as we do normally. So basically we're kind of...
Got to get out to work, yeah.
You've got to go to work, exactly, yeah.
So what were you doing? Did you stay in bed?
I couldn't. I had to get up. So I was kind of like going through the day, just feeling very lethargic. If the phone rang, I'd kind of go, oh God, I've got to speak to somebody. I wouldn't really want to go out and socialise. So eventually I kind of thought to myself, I've got to do something about this. So I started finding kind of different treatments.
Well, did your mood improve then once the summer came? Did you notice a marked difference?
Summertime, I was absolutely fine. I was full of energy, full of life. And then kind of September time, when the back to school is starting to appear in all the shop windows, and then particularly when the hour goes back, that's when it really strikes. So suddenly you're waking up and it's dark, you're driving home and it's dark, and suddenly you just find your whole mood is slowly changing. And it is kind of a mild form of depression in many ways. But the problem is, obviously, nobody likes to kind of talk about it and everything else. So, it is kind of like you are kind of just not quite yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to, in the summertime, absolutely fine. You're getting up, you're right as rain, but once the hour goes back, that's when it really, really strikes.
Okay, so what did you do then? Was there talk of going on maybe antidepressant medication or...?
The doctor said, why don't you take these? And I did try them, and I kind of went around in a kind of a zombie-like state, so I didn't really like that at all. So eventually I discovered a light box. So I started using the light box, and I turned it on in the morning, I used it, and over a period of time I suddenly found myself kind of waking up and feeling, great, I feel good again, which is fantastic.
Okay, tell us, when you talk about a light box, we've one here beside you. Just describe what exactly, what's the difference between this and, a regular light?
Okay, the lights that are here, they're around 400 or 500 lux. That light there is 10,000 lux, so it's particularly bright. It's dispersed in a non-flicker way, so it's designed that your eyes are taking in the light. And what happens is, when I wake up in the winter now, I use this, and over a period of, say, 5 or 6 days, slowly the brain is kind of going, oh, brilliant, there's that light again. And I'm reverting back to the way I feel in the summertime.
And what exactly is the light doing? Is it producing serotonin, is it?
Exactly, yeah. When it's dark, your brain produces a chemical called melatonin, okay? And that prepares the body for sleep. So when we're waking up and it's like this and going home and it's like this, your melatonin production levels are at a high state. So you're kind of in a semi-sleep state all the time. So by using the light box, the brain slowly slows down the production of melatonin and increases the serotonin. So you're basically tricking the brain into thinking it's summertime again.
And how long should you sit beside one of these?
This is a particularly powerful one. So this one will be about 30 minutes. The Rondo, which is another one that we do, is at 1 hour. You basically use it in the mornings. If you use it too late at night, you'll find yourself lying in bed smiling away, not being able to go to sleep. So best to use it in the morning time.
It doesn't give you a headache or anything because it looks pretty bright.
It is bright. No, it doesn't give you a headache. If you use it far too much, that has to be used for, say, half an hour. If you did sit there using it for, say, 4 or 5 hours, you might get a mild headache. But the whole secret is to have it on, have it within line of sight, and have it roughly at about arm's reach.
Now, you actually sell these now with your company. Are you busy? Is it more women than men, and are people pretty open about it?
It's very strange. There is a higher percentage of females, but I suspect that that's because a lot of men don't ring up and kind of say, hi, yeah, listen, I'm not feeling great, that kind of thing. There is still a stigma attached. A lot of people order online, obviously, but that whole stigma thing is slowly going, which is fantastic. They're becoming increasingly popular. What I'm finding more and more is that it's a lot of professions are ringing up now. It's like solicitors, architects, people who've been affected by their recession basically as well. So there's a huge amount of those. But it's predominantly female at the moment. And
you can get smaller ones, I take it. Cost-wise, what would be the cheapest?
Yeah, that one there is the Lucia, that's 249. You can get the Rondo, which is a kind of a small, kind of round, sun-like one, and that's 199. Or you can buy a thing called a wake-up light, which basically slowly wakes you up to a dawn sunrise in your room, to tweeting birds or running water.
Well, I like the sound of that. Listen, Brian, many thanks for coming and talking to us on Midday today.
No problem, pleasure.